Alright guys, in today's video, I'm building a motor with Cody. We're learning some shit, we're getting into it, but I wanted to explain exactly the order of sequence that we are basically doing everything. So this is pretty much a bare block. This one has like sleeves, so this doesn't look exactly like a stock block, but it's pretty much the same how everything works. So you just have the sleeves, the cylinders, and then it pretty much goes, you put the crank in first, which is this guy. It's a polished crank. You pretty much put the crankshaft in first, and you have to gauge it all and make sure the clearances are correct, which we go through in the video. Then after the crank is in, you have to put the rods in and clearance all those with the bearings on each one. Then after the rods are in, you can, or I guess you put the pistons and the rods in together. Yep. You put the whole thing in together, clearance it, put it with the crank, and then after that you can pretty much just put the head on. You gotta gap the rings. Yeah, you gotta gap the rings. We already had the rings gapped, but to gap the rings you pretty much will grind each little end down. Those are rings right there. You pretty much grind the middle until you use a filler gauge, which is one of these guys. You use a filler gauge right in between like that, and depending on your spec of build, you'll like look up exactly what gauge you need. But then you have to grind those down until they fit perfectly, and then you put the pistons in with the rods, clearance it all, and then that's the short block, which is what we did earlier, and then put the head on, and you're pretty much good to go. Would you say, Cody, the biggest thing is just taking your time, making sure the clearances are perfect on them?
Make sure the clearances are perfect. Make sure you're clean. Like, just keep everything clean.
Spotless.
Use as much brake cleaner as you need to use. Make sure everything's clean. Like, if you were gonna do surgery, right? Just make sure it's clean. That's how you end up with a good build, is just clean.
Keep
it
clean.
Your clearances are tight. Like, keep your clearances in spec. Make sure everything's torqued down to spec.
Yep.
And take your time.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Do your research.
Definitely make sure you know what you're doing right before you start. Make sure you have all your clearances too before you start. Have just look up a lot of times when you buy them, will it come with like a spec sheet, like when you buy forged pistons or rods, or
like your clearances for, like, if you buy pistons, it'll come with your clearances for like your ring end gap.
But I guess you could just look up all of that as well. Just search on the speed forums and look exactly what you're trying to do.
The speed forum, you'll have if you donate, you can get the whole shop manual, and it'll tell you.
Ooh, yeah, that's definitely helpful, but
worth your $20.
Definitely, guys, leave this video a like, smash that like. I want to see your phone broken after this. But this is pretty much a completely, not pretty much, this is like completely bare block. Just has those the half of the bearings in there.
It's got
Cody's putting some assembly lube on. So we can set the crank back in.
We'll torque it all back down.
Yeah. Building motors today with Cody. Cody's setting the crank in.
Bam.
Ooh, pretty.
Girdle.
Mallet girdle. Engine building 101, guys. And now what do we crank it down to?
40, 60.
Oh, yeah. And this is an OEM build, by the way, guys. We're not doing a forged setup because this is going in just a stock car. But we'll be doing another engine build, I'm sure, many more times. So we'll get to see the forged setup, but it's pretty much the same. You just have to take your time and check clearances and shit like that.
That's about it.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you because I don't even know. That's why I'm learning. Cody's the master.
What about all that?
Nah, I'd still say that for sure.
Put oil on the bolts so you get good torque specs so they don't bind up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, it's nice, like.
Feels pretty good?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to spin it one more time? There we go. So I guess that's how it's supposed to look, guys. The crank is in with the girdle. It's all, is it torqued down 100% now?
Yeah.
And it should spin freely, like we just showed. My hands are too greasy, but it should spin freely with a little bit of force, I guess. But yeah, this is 15 thousandths on each bearing clearance, I guess. And that's how it's supposed to be. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now we're just going to put the rods and pistons in next. Hell yeah. Alright, piston ring compressor. This is the time you guys have all been waiting for. We're throwing pistons in a block, baby. Motor building.
We're building stuff.
We're doing shit.
We're doing shit and things. See, and I labeled this one piston number 4.
Ooh.
And the stock one, the stock pistons, only have reliefs for the intake valves, not the exhaust valves.
If you guys are confused on what's going on, the reason why you have to put the piston ring compressor is because clearly the piston rings, which are these guys that go around the pistons, they go in like these little indents right there, and they like clearly expand because they're trying to make a really tight seal on the like cylinder walls inside here. They're making a really tight seal, so in order to get them in there you have to use a compressor like Cody's doing. And then you just slam them in there, connect them to the crank, bolt it to the crank.
And you can do 2 cylinders at a time. You can do 4 in 1 and 2 in 3.
Hey, how come you can do 4 in 1? Just because of the way the crank
stroke,
is?
So the crank's sitting that way, so 4 in 1 are both at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
2 in 1 at the top.
That's what I'm talking about. The secrets. Don't do one at a time, guys. You'll waste your time. You're just setting in the bearings.
Make sure they're flush.
Do you have to gauge those ones normally, or?
Like plastic gauging?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
But these ones are
Plastic.
stock, so they're chilling.
No, we're plastic gauging.
Oh.
Trying to be nice to it.
There we go. 1 in 4 done. We got all 4 pistons in. Ooh, that looks sick. And that's it, guys. That's how you do it. Pistons in, rods in, cranks ready to go. It's done. And this is, you would call a, not a short block, but a...
That's a short block.
Oh, this is a short block?
Yep. That's short block.
Short block's complete.
Yep, now clean off the head and put the...
Are we doing the head right now, tonight, still?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Put
hell
the head
yeah.
gasket on it, put the head bolts in it.
That's what I'm talking about. Easy peasy. Alright guys, I got to take the cams out of this head. Cody tells me it's just a 10 millimeter, and we just got to loosen this shit.
Now you got to make sure that these go where they're supposed to.
Okay,
So these will,
so keep track of them?
yeah,
Okay.
intake exhaust. I know where they go, but. So you'll go here. So you'll go these guys, these
First?
guys,
Okay.
these guys.
Just like I would on the actual, when I'm building.
Yeah.
torquing these here head bolts, head studs. Easy peasy. And it's always the same pattern as we did before. You start on the middle and then you go in the X around it, or go in the X till you go to the outside.
These have the head has a different torque spec than the girdle, or a different torque sequence. See, I'll show you.
Ooh.
Okay. 1, 2,
There it is.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Easy peasy. So just so you know, guys, when you're building this motor, if you're gonna do it, just look up the specs for exactly what stuff you're using. If you're using like forged internals, or just when the time comes, use whatever specs you're supposed to.
Yeah, because you'll do a different head, you'll do a different torque sequence, and well, you'll do the same torque sequence but a different spec than what we're doing if we're using OEM head bolts.
Oh, okay,
so like
yeah.
ARP, you'll do.
And we're using ARP 625s.
If you're using those.
No, are we using those, or we're using?
Stock head bolts.
Okay, so we're on OEM stock head bolts. Are they always head bolts, or are they head studs normally?
They're studs if you use ARPs.
Ah, nice. Alright guys, the cams are in, so are the head bolts. Guess these are head bolts because of the stock ones. Normally they're head studs, but yeah, head bolt.
Cam caps are always cam caps.
Oh yeah, the cam caps are just
So
bolts.
Heads vary, the head studs or.
Then we got all the caps in. We're still just torquing them down, but block's almost pretty much done completely. Wasn't too bad. Definitely simpler than I thought, but at the same time you have to take your time on everything.
And there's the torque spec for these.
Ooh. Okay.
And it's 12 foot-pounds or 122 inch-pounds. 1, 2, 1.
Alright guys, I hope you guys liked today's video. Be sure to give it a like and comment. In today's video we just went and built this stock motor with Cody, and we kind of went through it pretty quickly and we didn't go through all like the little nitty-gritty details, but overall it was really fun. Thank you, Cody. If you guys want to see exactly how to build a motor, I'm going to be building my mazdaspeed 6 motor pretty soon, and I'll go through every little detail you need to know in order to do that, and I'll take it nice and slow, make a really long video. So be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.